They are published on the do you want to check the canvas? They should be on the canvas. You go to model. Yeah, so a lot of them you can check. See. Okay. I'm gonna the habit side, right? I'm gonna check that time. Yeah. Mm. Okay, good afternoon, everyone. Of course, our meeting today maybe like for 20 minutes because this statistical consulting part two is just about the mock consulting that is coming up. I think I've already updated the assignment. I posted the assignment today with a partner that you've chosen. And for those who have not chosen partner, of course, I allocated that, automatically. So I quickly, I want to welcome you to, I'm going to call this mock statistical consulting, where the agenda is to introduce mock consulting assignment that I've already uploaded. Of course, and I will advise that you check the canvas. I've already uploaded some materials that you need in case some are missing. You'll also let me know. So what do we mean by statistical mock consulting? Of course, this is a kind of a training exercise. Okay, the training exercise that we have designed. Okay, you know, in such a way that you actually want to simulate real world, uh, statistical consulting, uh, you know, process. So the idea is just we want to provide you with an environment, with a structural environment to put your skill, your skill in statistics, your communication, your professionalism into practice. Okay, so uh, we normally use students in this regard because we want to test your skill. You want to the way you communicate. In case you have a client that comes around, we want you to demonstrate that with your colleague. So I want to believe by now you've received the assignment, the mock assignment notification. I will advise that you play your acting very well. You make it real. Okay. You make it real. Okay. So now the mock consulting role play and reflection is going to take a 4 point. And like I said, the assignment is on Canvas. Okay. So you're only going to have opportunity, like I said, to practice your consulting skills, which include your your technical skill in statistics. Not only that, how do you communicate statistics and how do you even interpret some statistical jargons? Because whoever that is playing, when you are playing the role of a client, you can pretend as if you don't even understand some jargons and you want the consultant to really give an explanation about about some jargons. You could use, you can actually use maybe a real life problem, or you could use an hypothetical hypothetical problem. All what we just want to see is a demonstration of how you actually gonna, do it in a way that will make sense. Today I'm going to upload two videos again, and I need you to watch. I'll share the link, YouTube link. In one, you're going to see how to consult, how good to consult, maybe 2 or 3 minutes video in length. And you're also going to see how bad. Like I said, you have to be professional. Okay. So if you watch the video, that will actually guide you. Okay. So why videotape? You can now when you make a video between your, when you make a video with your peer, we advise that you reflect. Try to watch the video. If the video is not that fantastic, because before the video can be fantastic to me or whoever that's going to watch it, that video needs to make sense to you as well. So you can decide to, like, after doing one with in agreement with your peer, you can try it again to be able to arrive at the best video that you're going to turn in. Okay, rehearsal is good. Even those who act movie, they do a lot behind the scene. Okay, they made a lot of mistake. Okay, that they've corrected. Okay, a lot of things happen behind the scene. Okay, if you watch behind the scene, you will see a lot. Okay, and that's why rehearsal is very, very important. Before your meeting, you rehearse your own part by yourself. Okay, practice the greeting. Don't forget that. Be professional. Ask questions, so on like that. Okay, and I said, don't rehearse the meeting with your partner. Okay, you're going to make mistake. Don't rehearse the meeting with your partner. Okay, okay. Only do one take of the video unless both partners agree that they want to try again. Okay, because imagine your partner has really done a great job in the video, or maybe you didn't do well, and you now want to retake the video. Retaking the video will mean your partner has to retake it with you too, and that's why you just have to make sure you go into the video when you are ready. But you can still do that depending on your partner. It depends on your partner anyway. Okay, you have to prepare for the role. Like, if you're gonna play the client role, you have to prepare. I want to believe when you in life, when you fail to plan, somebody is definitely gonna plan to fail. So it's good to plan ahead of time. I remember what philosophers said. They said preparation for adversity is the best way to prosperity. When you prepare ahead, okay, it's the best way to prosperity when you prepare for adversity. So before the meeting, you read the handout. I actually publish the material today. You can read that, okay, and familiarize yourself with the details of the study. This is for clients role, okay, and during the meeting, okay, even I know you are a student of statistics, that you understand some statistical jargons. You're actually going to pretend, just like the way the TA pretended during the joint meeting. Does that make sense? You're actually going to pretend that you don't understand some certain statistical terminologies. Okay. Also make up for information if necessary. Now for the consultant's role is believed to be somebody who have the technicality skill, of statistics. Okay. If you're playing a consultant role, okay, before the meeting, we advise that you read the initial email from the client, because you may want to act as if the client has sent you an email, which is typical what is going to happen in the real world of consulting. You're actually going to receive an email. So look into unfamiliar terminologies. There's possibility maybe the person is maybe is conducting research in a medical line, and there's a lot of medical jargons that you don't understand. Okay. So you got to look into unfamiliar terminologies. That could be some kind of question you're also gonna, you know, we're gonna ask from the client. Consider what you know. Consider what you want to know from the client. Prepare questions because you are meeting these clients. Maybe you agree to meet on a limited time. Okay, time period, stipulated time period. It is advisable that before the meeting, okay, you write your questions down, the question you want to ask ahead of the meeting. Okay. Now practice the opening and the ending. Practice asking questions. Okay. You practice that yourself. I want to believe before you say something out to people, say it out yourself and listen. When as I'm talking now, I'm hearing myself. You also talk, hear yourself. Okay. Whether the questions you want to ask probably make sense. And expect the client to ask you some questions too. The client is going to ask you a lot of questions. You should expect that. Now, that was before the meeting. That was before the meeting. Now, during the meeting, okay, you as a consultant, will open the meeting because there is possibility, uh, the client paid you a visit in your office, courtesy demand that you should greet somebody coming to your office, can decide to go into another place seeking for, the statistical advice. Okay, so coming into your office is more a way, to increase your productive or economic capacity, because at the end of the day, if you get paid, okay, so ask question and gather information. So as a consultant, you ask question and you gather information. Every information is necessary. Okay. Then you leave time to end the meeting properly. Okay. You end the meeting properly. Okay. Make sure you work according to the time. Okay. Now, um, there is something I actually attached today. You can check the canvas, the driving study. Okay. This driving study, this is not what you're gonna have your training, your more consulting on. This is just to provide you with kind of maybe a model that you can follow. Okay, like I said, this is not your consulting assignment. Okay, you can reflect on that. Preparation, review the handout for your role, and do not share the handout with your partner. Okay, it is for your eyes only. Like I said, do not do that. Then you will role play the entire consulting meeting, 15 minutes. Okay, do not skip the open and the hand. You remember the other time we talked about power, right? POWER. Okay, make sure you actually um incorporate that into your consulting practice training. Okay. Now, uh consulting role play the driving study. I'm going to show you the client questions and the likely client questions. This is just to guide you. It is not necessarily this may not be this may not be the real questions or the hypothetical questions that you're gonna have between you and your peers. Okay, but this is to serve as a guide. Okay, the client question: how do you assign the treatment? It is the client now. Okay, the client question: how do you assign the treatment? When I say client question, it's like the question you are asking the clients, you are the consultants, because some of them, maybe um they've collected their data, and you actually want to know, okay, uh, how they assign the treatment. You really want to see whether they use the principle of randomization. Okay, then is there any way to make it randomized? If it is not, okay, and that seems to be the standard of the type. Of course, when you are dealing with the experimental study, okay, what make a experimental study to have a very huge statistical power is because the principle of experimental designs are actually followed, including randomization. Okay. Give me 1 second. I think I'm gonna. Okay. Okay. So then you are not sure whether you should give only one treatment to each participant or ask them to complete all 4 treatments. You remember in class the other time? Today, I remember we did something on where we're trying to measure the quality of life of police, and the police work during the day or during the night and stuff like that, and they work different shift, 8 hour, 12 hour, and so on like that. You remember we first partition them into, we use a principle of blocking, where each of the block receive all the treatments. We got situation where uh the subject receive all treatment or not. We have that kind of situation. We want to decide between complete randomized design or randomized complete block design. Okay, that is the reason. So you need to be able to understand that. And if you give each participant 4 treatment, okay, what would be the statistician recommendation and how to implement it? Okay, you actually give each participant 4 treatment. I think I remember working with there's this drivers where we want to test alcohol. There are 4 different kind of treatment, and we realize that the difference in drivers need to be controlled, and we introduce a restriction, a blocking restriction, where the driver now serve as a block, and all the 4 treatments were actually tested on each driver. With that, we will be able to minimize the source of variation attributed to difference in drivers. Okay. Then beside the number of times that the participant drifts out of lane, what other measurement can you obtain from the participant that will be relevant to the research question? So, like I said, because one thing lead to another, we don't find ourselves where we are without some factors responsible, and that is the reason why we need to try as much as possible, to be able to identify what potential factors could be. Okay, we need to ask, really, we need responses that will enable us to apply the appropriate statistical methodology at the end of the day, because we don't want to leave anything out. You want a statistician to provide a data analysis plan. Okay, what kind of method would be appropriate? Okay, and so on like that. I will advise that you, as an expert or as a consultant, okay, you really understand. It's just like before doctor recommend the use of a particular medicine. Of course, the doctor has already, maybe through diagnosis and through his experience, okay, and he was able to arrive at a particular medicine that will work on the patient. Otherwise, it's going to be an exercise in futility. That is the same way you're going to act. Okay, you need to first understand what you've learned before now, some basic descriptive technique in statistics and some inferential technique like regression analysis, logistic regression analysis of variance analysis, the mixed model, and so on. Like that, all the way to advanced model. We want to talk about the random forest. We want to talk about um, you know, some a deep learning approach in machine learning algorithm and so on like that. You need to for of first equip yourself statistically before you'll be able to know what method to use to recommend to the client. And let me also say this. This will test your knowledge. Like I said, uh, consulting. I'm actually going to call that communication, the way you communicate. Okay, okay. Communication is going to test your communication skill. Okay, it's going to test your communication skill. It's also going to test your professionalism. Okay, professionalism. That will include your appearance. And that is why the YouTube link that I'm going to share today on how good to consult and how bad not to consult. Okay, I will advise that you watch the video. Okay, so your professionalism is actually going to be tested, and not only that, okay, your technicality. Okay, your technicality in statistics. Technicality in statistics, how you can recommend appropriate statistical methodology for a given scenario, for a given problem. Okay, and that will also include how you can actually uh, interpret, how you can explain some statistical jargons, okay, and so on like that. So all is going to be in display. Is there any question for me? Now, you've all been paired, right? Is there anybody here that has not been paired? Is there anyone that has not been paired? I put the email of your peers. Make sure you reach out. And you've got the deadline set. Okay. And I said you should reach out to me in case I think I put uh, Thursday, February 12th, but today is 10, so that should be a mistake. It should be Wednesday, February 12th. I think today is 10. Today is Monday, right? Okay, sure. It should be February 12th. But the deadline for submission is now February 12th. Of course, you can see. I think it's 16 or something. You can check the syllable. I mean, you can check um the assignment part for that. Okay, like I said, the appearance today is Camille. So is there any question? Is there any question? Like I said, be professional. Go ahead. Okay, that's a very good question. That's a very because I think what majorly what we're training you for is to act in a consultant role. Even though I understand the client can, you know, put on kind of negative attitude. But in this consulting role, when I'm not expecting you to act the role of a client perfectly, but I'm expecting you to act the role of a consultant perfectly. Because that's what we're training you for. You are right. Some client may come and I don't expect client to be professional, just like what you said. But I expect consultants to be professional, which is what I'm training, which is what we're training you for. So we are simulating now, okay, the statistical consulting in real world. That's what we're simulating now. We're mimicking that. So you're right. So uh I expect the consultant to be more of professional. I can't predict what the client, the way they're gonna behave. That's okay, provided the consultant is professional. So that's a good question. Okay, in the absence of question, be sure you all stay safe and have a lovely day. Bye for now, everyone.